this is the embarrassing part. I went to the bathroom and I cried. Like, I just cried because I was so frustrated. This whole process has been such a headache. What's up, guys? I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. Whoa. Sorry, hold on. But I've been preparing, right? So, the last update that I gave you guys was when I went out to MEPS. Excuse me. And I got there. I was supposed to do the physical and swear in on that day. That was back at the end of May-ish. So that didn't happen that day. Remember, I got sent back for a medical reason. They wanted just more documentation on something that I had already provided them. And so I handled that, and they took like a month to get back to me. I was basically just sitting waiting for them to give me any type of information, to call me, whatever. And it took them a month, almost a month exactly, to get back to me. So I get out there for now the third time, because the first time was when I took the ASVAB. Second was when I got sent back home. And then the third and final time was when I actually got to enlist. But before that happened, I had packed my bag. I got everything ready, right? You need your ID, you need your social security card, and basically, I forgot it. I had the wallet with me, and my recruiter's office is in like this plaza area. If you're not from around Martinsburg, it's called the Commons. I walk literally 4 doors down to a Dollar Tree because I needed little things like, toothbrush, toothpaste to take with me, and paid for the stuff, had my wallet there. Between coming back to my recruiter's office and going to my car for my actual bag that I was taking with me, I ended up leaving my wallet in the car. So they asked me when I'm in the office, they're like, you have your wallet with you, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I got my ID, my social, whatever, I'm prepared. I get all the way out to MEPS, and something told me to just check my book bag, and my wallet was gone. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm all the way out here. What am I going to do? They're going to send me back home yet again. But they didn't. It ended up not even being needed because I was already in their system from the last time that I was out there. So, fast forward, get to MEPS, everything is going smooth, except for the fact that it was super duper early, right? So, we woke up I think our wake up call is like 4:15, and we were out the building by like 5:30, I think. So, you get all the way to MEPS. I go through my little confirmation, is what they call it. Basically, make sure nothing's changed since the last time you were there. They look you up and down, make sure you're still at the weight that you need to be, at the body fat percentage you need to be, whatever. No new tattoos, nothing different from the last time that you were out. So everything was fine. So from about, I'd say like 6 in the morning, all the way until probably 12 o'clock, I was just sitting there waiting. Literally dying from being tired. And I just had to wait. They finally call my name, and I go back to meet with the counselor to pick the job that I wanted to do, like officially pick it before I swear in. So, flashback to my recruiter's office. When I was picking my job before, I ended up with the combat medic position. But since I didn't swear in at that time, I ended up losing that reservation. So the job that I ended up with is a medical lab specialist. Basically, like, say you come into the hospital and you think you're sick, so they're gonna take a swab of your mouth and test it for strep. I'm gonna be the person performing whatever test needs to be done on whatever tissue they send me, whatever blood samples they send me. I'm going to be testing that for various diseases or, blood typing, things of that nature. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm happy with that because it is in the medical setting without being so, super duper dangerous, I mean, I know you're joining the military, it's going to be dangerous regardless, but I feel a little bit safer with the job that I ended up with. It's still not what I wanted. I still want to do the physical therapy, but that just wasn't available to me. Anyways, back to MEPS. I go to the counselor to let him know the job that I want, and it was still available, but this is why you want to watch what happens to you. Some of you may remember that I got into a fight when I was in college and I got arrested, whatever. Now that is causing an issue because I have the record of being arrested for of violence, basically. Even though all charges were dropped, nothing has come of it. That is still a part of my record. The reason that that's causing an issue is because for some of the medical fields in the Army, you can't have any history of violence against, what did it say? Violence against a human, animal, or property. So, because of that arrest, he basically told me that I wasn't allowed to do that job and some other jobs that were open to me. So, at this point, I'm like, none of the other jobs that you have available are interesting to me. And I remember I told you guys, if I don't get what I want, I'm not going, right? So I told him the same thing. I let him know I wasn't comfortable with just taking any job and that I was just going to have to, come back when something else is available. So this is the embarrassing part. I went to the bathroom and I cried. I just cried because I was so frustrated. This whole process has been such a headache. And I know it's not meant to be easy. It's not supposed to just be a breeze, join the Army, and then it's done. I was not expecting all of this hassle and all of the back and forth and the waiting. And so, yeah, I went in the bathroom. I cried my eyes out like a little baby. And I tried to get myself together, and then they started calling my name. They called my name over the loudspeaker because the guy was looking for me. And I couldn't come out yet because my face was all red from crying and I was embarrassed. So I just stayed in there a while. And they called me again, and I'm like, all right, I got to get it together. So cleaned myself up, walked out. When I walked out, the guy was standing outside of the bathroom. I guess he knew I had went in there, and he looks at my face. I think he could tell I had been crying. So we go back to his office, and he was like, listen, this is the job you want. This is the job you have. So I don't know what he did to be able to get me that job, but whatever. I got it. And that's the job that I'll be doing. I enlisted on the 22nd. I'm ready to go. So I leave in 2 months now. Just 2 months. That's it. I have 2 more months. And then this process is not over, but just beginning. So I'm excited that I'll be able to begin. I'll be able to go to basic, then I'll go to AIT. Here's the kicker though. My AIT, which is basically you go to basic where you learn basically how to be in the military or how to be in the Army or whatever. Then you go to AIT, and that's where you learn how to do your specific job. So when I get out of basic, I go straight to AIT, and I'll be in AIT for 52 weeks, which out of any of the jobs that I've looked at, that is the longest. I think nursing is about the same, 52 weeks, which is a year. But they're going to let me go home for Christmas break. So we go there, we're in training, Christmas break comes, we go home, and then we come back, I believe he said January 1st or around that time. So I'll have a nice little break in between, and then I go back to training, and once I graduate, that's when I find out where I'll be stationed. So I don't know, I guess if anybody Let me see. I've been missing some comments. Okay, no, I didn't. Shanae. Something happens every time I go up there, so I knew something was going to happen too. But I got what I needed to get, and everything's cool. I don't really know what else to say. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? Anything like that? I guess I'll just open it up to you guys. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I was doing, what is that? Oh my god. Oh, alright, I'm cool. I'm good. So I was doing a 30-day exercise challenge, right? And I made it to 30 days. There was a couple of those days where I kind of just took it easy and I was just, walk here and there. But honestly, I didn't lose much weight, but my body has transformed completely. I feel like it's night and day difference from when I started to where I am now. And the reason I stopped recording is because I was doing the same workouts all the time. I really didn't do much different for 30 days, so I didn't feel the need to record every single day that I was going. What else? It's been a while. I don't know what else I'm missing. That's it. I will catch you guys some other time.